Okay, so I'm going to show how to open up a Acer Nitro 5 AN515-53 series model N17C1. So first what you want to do is remove all the screws from the bottom. So there's one here. Sorry, it's focusing weird. Okay, one, and then 2, 3, 4, and then you got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Alright, so just remove all those screws from the bottom. Once you do that, remove these covers. So just get your finger in there and pull this out like that. Alright, other one, remove this as well. Okay, so here you can see the RAM. So to get that out, just push these to the side. Alright, there you go, so you can see the RAM. This uses, why is it not focusing? Okay, 8 gigs, PC4, so DDR4, 2666V. Alright, there you go. So that's the RAM. Put it back at an angle. The other one's in the way. Okay, just put it back in an angle like that. Alright, and then push it down. Alright, there you go. If you have a hard drive or SSD here, you'll want to remove this. But it's nice they include this little bracket. If you don't have an SSD there, as long as this thing is disconnected from the drive, you don't have to remove the drive. It's not attached to the lower piece. So once you get all of that, what you want to do is go on the edges like back here and kind of just, let's see if I can get it. So you're gonna have to pry around. The back actually I think was the hardest when I tried it, so you might have to start with the front area. So wherever you can kind of get your fingernail or pry tool in. So let's see here. So right between the edge here, you can actually get into it like that and then just pull on it with your fingernails or your pry tool. I like to pull on it while I put pressure down here to kind of pry it away from the clips. Okay, so just go all the way around, just going around like this. Alright. So the motherboard and everything is attached to the top of the keyboard. So the main thing is just removing these clips, okay? So just go all the way around. Alright. So you can see it's actually almost completely removed. So the whole thing will come up like this, and then once you get that, you can start going around to the back. There's this little gap here, so I use that and pull on it, and then you just go all the way around. Okay. Alright. The last one is this corner here. That one's the hardest to remove. So once you get to there, try and just get your fingernail or the pry tool in there. You might need to kind of lift it up, and then sometimes what you can do, since everything is removed all the way around except for this corner, you can lift it at this corner and then kind of like wobble it around, and then kind of twist it and wobble it, and it's coming apart. And it's kind of hard to do this with one hand, but let's see here. Maybe I can. So get your fingernail. There we go. Got the last clip. Alright. So here you can see. Alright, the bottom. And then here you can see there's an SSD here. It's a M.2 NVMe SSD. Alright, the RAM you can still see. Then you got the LCD cable here. If you're gonna remove anything, disconnect the battery first. So I already disconnected that, but basically you would pull the edges and then just kind of wiggle it side to side like this, and it'll come out. And then usually after I remove the battery, I'll hold the power button for a few seconds just to make sure there's no power left in it. You can also push this battery drain button, or it's supposed to be like a kind of like a battery release button. See, so it's through the bottom cover. If your computer's doing anything weird, you can usually press that button and it'll kind of help it, as long as it's not actually a failed hardware. So here you can see this looks like most likely a CMOS battery, which is underneath the actual battery. And you got some connectors here for like the trackpad and this little light up here. So this is probably for that light. This is for the trackpad, keyboard connector, keyboard backlight connector. Got the DC jack that runs underneath all this stuff. So it's kind of a little pain to remove like the wireless antennas and stuff because all those tapes, but you just gotta peel up all the tape. And then you'll have to also flip that switch up and then move this out of the way, so that way you can access all of that. But there's like tape holding all of these things down that you'll have to move out of the way. Alright. So this one I had to replace the screen because the hinges were broken, and then I didn't actually replace the screen yet, but I put glue to fix the hinges. I'm just waiting for that to completely solidify. But you can see this USB board is separate, so if for some reason those ports break or the audio jack breaks, you can replace this board. You can see the speaker here, so the left and right, and then the wire just goes along, and then it's going along here, and then it's connecting most likely underneath some of this tape stuff. I can't see it. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. So this cable comes out and then it goes here. So this is the speaker cable. You can see the two fans here. Okay, yeah. This one's a bit tough to remove. Usually I pull on it and then I kind of pry a little bit underneath here with my fingernail. I usually don't like using pry tools for pulling stuff up if I don't have to, because I can't feel if I'm actually breaking something. So it's nice to use your actual fingernail so you can actually feel how much force is going into it. But that's pretty much it. The wireless card, like all the other ones, basically to remove these antennas, you pull up from the back of the tail, and when you put it back with the front end first, and then once it's lined up, you can lay it down flat over the connector and push it down. That's the best way to do it without damaging it. And be careful because these are fragile. I've seen a lot of people bend these kinds of things. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So you can add more RAM. There's a second slot here. If you want, you can upgrade the SSD. It's a M.2 NVMe again. And then it also has a regular SATA connector. So if you want to put like an older SATA SATA SSD, or even just like a regular hard drive for a lot of storage, you can do that as well. I don't think the bracket doesn't come with screws to hold the hard drive in, just to hold the bracket. So you'll have to get some of those kinds of screws if you want to put a regular hard drive. If you put an SSD, it probably doesn't matter, because if it shakes around, you won't have any issues. But that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you, please consider helping me out by liking and subscribing. Alright, thanks. Bye.